Salut, bonjour. We're going to start French today. It's Monday, the sun's shining, spring's going to be coming. Alright, one thing to say, just cleaning up from what I taught before. The Song of Roland, the Chanson de Roland, the Song of Roland, I had told you about that. Well, Roland blows his horn at the last minute, and I think I told you, why didn't he blow it sooner? Boromir, in Tolkien's works, the second of his works, the Two Towers, I think it's called. Boromir, I think, is based on Roland. That's my own theory on that, because I know Tolkien really knew his old literature. Nudity, well, St. Francis, I recommended to you Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, and I highly recommend that movie. Although, I really do think it takes some coaching to appreciate how good it is. Plus, it's a little sentimental. But in any case, I should warn you that there's a spot where there's nudity. You see his bare butt. You see the bare butt of a saint. St. Francis at a certain point gave everything back to his father and walked out of town, including his clothes. So anyway, you're warned about that. All right, French. Now, to get this started, you should see, these are notes. Now, later on, I'm going to say more about this. At the moment, I'm not sure if anybody viewing my class is taking notes, but they should. They should be. And if they've taken a set of notes, now we're ready for the 12th section. And it'll take you about, if you get about 4 sheets of paper, I think might be enough, like this line paper. Put the holes on the left, or if it's in a folder like this. And then this would be page 12.1, 12th section, first page, 12 sections French. And at the top, write French. Well, on the back of that, we can go ahead and get this ready. On that page, if you would go just down, maybe skip a line and write down pronunciation. I don't know if you'd have to capitalize it or not, pronunciation. I'll have a little bit to say about how you go about pronouncing French. And then about halfway down the page, maybe not quite halfway down the page, you could put nouns. We'll keep a list of the nouns I offer you in French. Now, I want to remind you that this is going to be a parallel text. I'm going to approach French in just the same way I approach Spanish. My purpose is to just give a taste of the language. I'll probably often say this, but when I taught in the public schools, what I tried to do is let the kids know what are they getting into if they go to teach French. All right, now if you would go onto the back of that sheet of paper, onto the back of it, right there, in the upper left-hand corner, there, right down, that would be the 12th section, that would be page 12.2, up section there. And on this one, we're going to have... you could just maybe on the top line write down adjectives, go about 1/3 of the way down and put down adverbs, and then divide the space that you've got left and put down conjunctions all the way over to the left. That page is then ready. Then if you go to the next sheet of paper, that would be here. This would be the 12th, this would be page 12.3, 12th section, 3rd page. And there, let's see, the way I set this up that last year was I had at the top left put down IJ for interjections. About 1/3 of the way down the page, PN for pronouns. And then divide the space that you've got left. And write down prepositions. Alright, there are 7 of the parts of speech. And then if you'll go over onto the back of that sheet of paper, this would be page 12.4. There you could put down, at the top left side, put down verbs. Or you could write it out if you want, verbs. In French, I'm not going to give you a list of the inflections. French is highly inflected, but I think it's not quite so clear-cut as it is in Spanish, and so I won't do that. I'll just show you the inflections as we run into them, so there won't be that section. Then if you go to the right-hand side, as you look at your folder, the next sheet of paper, you could put page 12.5, and there at the top, we'll write, say this before you see it, conversation française. Conversation française. And this is the way it looks. Conversation. And I love to point out to the kids that that doesn't say conversation, that says conversation. It's spelled exactly the same. And française, once again, I don't think I'll capitalize it. Even though it's, as a title you probably would, but I like to immediately try to show kids that proper adjectives are often not capitalized. In English we would capitalize French. That's something I've got to figure out about German. I think the same is true in German, but I think when I write German all the time I capitalize my proper adjectives, and I think I shouldn't. Conversation française. Alright, the section is ready to go, and I think in a second video today I'll just start the conversation, just a little bit. So come back.